Hello, this is Mark Cooley, President of the Kohl Analytics Group, here to perform the Train the Trainer session on Kohl Direct, the software that you will use to provide time information for your employees as part of the product profitability assessment we're performing for your institution. It's important to do this because employee costs make up about half of all your non-interest expense. And at the product level, it can be even more than that. It truly is a people helping people business. And so it's important to get this right. So here's how this is done. We're going to teach you today how to perform this survey with your employee team. And then you're going to go and actually conduct this with them. A good way to do it is during a standard branch department meeting. It takes about 15 minutes to go through the training that you're going to see here, and then give them about 10 to 15 minutes to go ahead and complete their surveys. We'll talk about that a little bit more. There are two levels to this. One is the level that everybody uses to provide their time estimates, including you as managers. There is another level as you as managers use to review the results. So let's start at the employee level. This is what they're going to see. They're going to sign in to their institution. They're going to enter a standard code that everybody's going to have. Then they're going to use their last name and a code, probably teller number, cash box, something that they know to enter the system. The system is then going to display for them a two-level window, an outer scroll window and inner. The outer will give them access to a user's guide, some context-sensitive help, and so on. The inner one is the list of the actual activities. The person I've chosen is a head teller in a branch. As you can see, they have certain activities open to them. It skips activity 3 because if I click on display all, we'll see that 3 is underwriting. Well, it's unlikely that a head teller is underwriting alone. They're probably not taking applications or closing them either, or doing title work or surveying, doing audits or performing direct supervision of this activity. So we can turn all those off. Notice that this becomes a toggle, flips back and forth. Okay, that's very important because the first step is to go through the entire list of activities and identify what that person does. Everybody's going to have a subset open to them initially, and that needs to be modified for their unique position. Once they're into this system, they can start putting in, maybe they do some referrals of loan products. Cross-selling certainly is an important function. Maybe they process the average loan payment here and there. Maybe they're answering some credit card questions, but you get the idea. As they're going through and they're kind of figuring out what they do during a typical, a typical week. The idea is to focus on a 40-hour week and then pick things that they spend at least a half an hour doing. Now, once they're done with all this, they're going to get down to the bottom and they're going to see that there's a break time. So if this person has standard break time, there's an example of what that might be. There's also a non-product specific activity, hence the N. This is for things like balancing your teller drawer, going to training, doing branch maintenance tasks, and so on. So that's always going to be something that everybody has a couple hours a week. When someone's done, they're probably not going to be at the 40 because they don't have everything. Everybody has some time in the day that they're waiting to serve a customer or a member, especially in a member-facing area. Now, if you're in a call center, that may not be the case. If you're super busy in loan underwriting, that may also not have any extra time. But typically in a member-facing area, they will. We don't have an activity for waiting for something to do because people aren't really good about being open about sharing that kind of time. What we want them to go do is kind of sprinkle, as we call it, some time around the things they spend the most on. So they would just kind of gross up some of this stuff in order to, oh, maybe I missed this, and then get to that final piece. Now you'll notice that flash that error. What happens is it's really a warning. If I go over 40, I'm going to get a warning. It is okay to go over. If you've got someone who's routinely spending 50 hours, then go ahead and have them target 50 hours and ignore this as a warning. It's certainly all right. The system will accept that data. Again, it is just a warning. Once they're at 40 hours, they can save the survey. They can save and exit. We're going to save and exit. And again, the person is now done. You can see it's pretty quick. The steps are identify the activities you do and then step back and think about a typical week. Then they're done. They have a user's guide. They can watch this video if that's helpful, and they're completely finished and can log out. Again, employee take about 10 or 15 minutes to do this. So now you as a manager Once your employees are done, you're going to come in and review their surveys. Now, every manager has the same logon, because again, this has nothing to do with individual performance. Therefore, it's perfectly okay for everybody to see everybody else's work. You can sort by the department. You can use your browser search function to find your department. Then what you'd want to do is go in and review every one of your employees. You're going to see what they saw. You can change it, you can update it, but we really want you to critically look at their results. If something looks odd and you don't believe, don't unilaterally change it. Go talk to that employee and find out why they put time there. You know, if a teller puts 10 hours to originating business loans, it certainly would be a question, and we've seen that kind of thing. So you guys really are our first quality control step. And so it's important to look at that and work with your employees to make sure that this is as good as it can be. When you're done, you can approve and exit and go on to the next one. That's all good. So situations you're going to run into that are going to require some unique functionality are going to be, number one, if you have people that are simply not around. Okay, so maybe you've got this senior teller that's not going to be there. Well, you can copy your head teller's data to a number of other people. So in this case, we're going to copy it to both these senior tellers because maybe they're on FMLA, long-term vacation, leave, whatever it might be. Copy it. It's going to ask me to verify I want to do this. If I was going to overwrite somebody who'd already put data in here, it would give me a warning message because this was a blank data set that didn't occur. You could then go in and say, okay, I'm going to modify this senior teller. Notice how I picked everybody started with an A. That kind of makes it easy. Maybe this is my person that really doesn't work with loans so much, but they're really my vol teller. So maybe I'm going to put a lot more time down here and get to my 40 hours. I can then approve that and move on. So you can copy, then modify as you deem appropriate. The other situation you're going to run into are going to be open positions. There are two types of open position. One type is where you've had someone in that position previously and they've got promoted, you're in transition. If you've had someone that you've paid money to service members and customers, we want to collect that data. If their name is still in the database, great, just complete it for them. If it's not, contact us and you will be given our contact information. We will add an open position for you. And you will be getting lesson plans that duplicate what I'm sharing with you right now, as well as our direct contact information. And we are pretty good at getting back to people same day, if not next day. So we can add an open position. The other kind of open position is where you've never had someone there. Maybe you're a branch that got a new teller because of your traffic. In that situation, because no one's ever done any work that they were paid for that serviced a customer or member, we do not need to collect time for them. So you can just ignore them. The other situations you're going to run into is maybe someone can't find an activity for an important product function they perform. Contact us. More than likely, it is one of the activities that is there. It also may need to add an activity, which we generally can do. Also, while this is a generic data set, the activities your team are going to see are customized for your institution. So we spend a lot of time doing that. Once you're done with your department, you can see we're keeping track of the completion. You can log out. You also have a user's guide. You also have access to this video. Once you're done, you can log out and you're finished. Again, good way to do this, standard department meeting. Spend about 15 minutes like I've done here. This is about a 10-minute video, and share this information with them. Reinforce the fact that this is not about individual performance, and then send them to their workstations to go ahead and complete this form. They can work as a team, as a group, all your tellers together, all your underwriters. That is totally fine. We think that actually helps. And once you're done, be sure to have a critical eye to the results to perform, because you guys are, as I said, our first QC step and our most important. You know what your people do better than any of us do. So with that, I appreciate your help with this important process that we're working on for your institution. If you have any questions, contact your coordinator or reach out directly to us here at Kohl Analytics Group. Have a great day and appreciate your time.